Hi, my name is Henry Eissler. I'm 43 years old and I live in Northfield, New Jersey. So on April 4th, I was doing something I enjoy, which was surfing. I was out for about 3.5 to 4 hours, and it was a particularly good day. The waves were pumping, actually, as I was exerting myself, even more than I usually do. And on top of that, I'd forgot my water, so I was very dehydrated. So later on that night, I'd say around 10, I all of a sudden went into this state of confusion. I couldn't figure anything out. It was just like a bad dream. And I looked down and my arm was lifeless. It didn't even have any feeling. It wasn't even numb. It was just not there. And I kept picking it up and it would just drop, and it was crazy. And I called my wife and I said, "Gene, I think I'm having a stroke." And she immediately called 911. So the ambulance came, picked me up, drove me to the hospital in Atlantic City. I got great care during the ambulance ride. I believe the IV helped because by the time we arrived at the hospital, I could lift my arm a couple inches on its own, and that was a giant step forward, I believed at the time, because I was very worried about my arm. We got into the care. They took me into the emergency room, took me back. I spoke with a neurologist remotely. He ran me through a few tests, and every passing moment I seemed to be getting a little better. The next morning, I ran through a couple of simple questions with an OT, and what should have been simple questions weren't that simple. A simple question, I remember, name 3 things that are white. 1, 2, 3. I should have been able to get that really easy, but it took me some time. But fortunately, as time progressed, maybe later that afternoon, probably the next day after maybe a nap or something, I cognitively felt a little bit better, and still a little foggy, but I rehashed all those questions and I could answer them, so I felt like I was okay, because that really bothered me that I couldn't answer them. Doctors there said that I was improving enough and there was no surgery that would have been required. I was released a few days later, given some prescriptions and given some instructions to follow up with some specialists. So after such a traumatic experience, I was, I had a lot of anxiety. I was feeling somewhat depressed. I was shaken up. It wasn't an easy thing to come to terms with. All I could think about, during my downtime, when the nurses weren't in there or something and my family wasn't there, was, my 2 beautiful little girls. And not understanding the stroke situation, I thought I could have been dead, and I had a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old, and thinking that they might not remember me. That was the worst thing ever. So today I'm very thankful we noticed the symptoms and were aware of them, and that we acted so quickly. The ambulance came so quickly. The doctors were so great, had a great facility we went to. I'm just so thankful for all and grateful for all of that.